members. Hope you're well. We've got a bit of an announcement to make, which is a little sad. Kraz, after 20 years of service to the club, you've decided to resign and take up a role with Golf Australia, so heading to the industry body.
Yeah.
Firstly, I want to say thank you for everything in my time that you've done in the relationship we've built, but I imagine that you've got lots to say and talk about with our members.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Yeah, it is very much with a heavy heart, I must admit. This is a place which I've come to love, and it's basically my home away from home. And to be leaving the place is a difficult decision to make, but it is an opportunity. And I think I need to take up this challenge and look to just try and help golf in a greater sense, I suppose.
Yeah. 20 years, amazing service for the club. I mean, every member would know you're seeing your smiling face every time they walk into that pro shop. The joy and love you give. Talk us through some of those 20 years.
Yeah, it's
some highlights.
There is some highlights. I suppose there's some things that I've been directly involved with over the years, which has certainly memories come flooding back. Had a lot to do with Pennant through the years, and just seeing not only the successes that the men's and women's Pennant have in the Colts and the juniors are going really flash again. The Acorns at the moment in the semis, but also what it means to the members that represent the club. I think it's really important. So the things that I can really remember is talking, Robert Cortez when he left and said he'd never play for another club, even though he was moving away. Remember doing some interviews and Corey Mansfield listening to him speak about his dad and the impact that his dad had on his life and Pennant at the club. Like Gary was such an enormous figure at the club, and sadly he passed away just after I started, so I really didn't get to meet Gaz, which is a real sad part of it. But just listening to Corey talk about his dad was great. The women winning 2 flags in 2003 was awesome. It just gives a real buzz to the club, I think, when we're doing well in Pennant. And naturally with the guys now working back in Division 1 is, for a club on the clay belt, so to speak, to be playing with the big boys in Division 1, I think it's an extraordinary achievement. And the fact that they've stayed there, crackers, winning the Pennant medal in Division 1 or 4, it's amazing. It just shows that, representing the club really does, I think, lift play. I suppose another real big thing, Golf Premier League's been a big thing here, GPL, just seeing the fun and joy that it's brought members for so long now. We're 15 years into it now, and the old Ferrets and Buglers rivalry in the early days, Croctables breaking through, Arena Lee making the All-Latrobe team, the only woman so far to do it, the McCarthy's dominating. I think Cal's got 7, Shane's got 6 shirts. Shane will hate that, but yeah. But it's just been great to see the camaraderie and like I think we've had 8 teams now that have lifted the Premiership Cup, and they generally love it. And the Surats now, my God, the Surats are premiers at the moment. It's hard to believe that would happen, but they've got there. So the Charles Latrobe Medal Nights have been great fun, just celebrating the season and having a few beers with the guys that have won. It's been really cool. Another thing, that's the Jim Foley Medal. Gary Lennis came to me and said, we'd like to have our Anzac Day blockbuster. So Tunners versus the Buglers it was back in the day, and it's just morphed into something which is really special, I think, when we do it. I remember really distinctly when we did a dawn service. It was on the Saturday, and we did a dawn service, and like it was just coming out of dark. We had 100 members here, just all paid respects. It was pretty cool. It was great.
And I suppose in your 20-year period, you would have seen a lot of staff during that time and relationships that you built with them too.
Yeah, look, we've been really lucky, I think, at the club. We've had great people to work with. Personally, I feel that everyone I've worked with, I've really enjoyed their time here, some longer than others, but they've just helped me be a better pro, to be honest, and helped me do my job better. But a few obvious ones, Rod Haynes, who was a GM for a long time, which I think we just had a great relationship, did a lot of things, I think, which were good, and building relationships with the community around us. I mean, Rod was a big part of all that, and helping put, just the initial framework of the 5-hole together. The relationship with Yarrabin and all that type of stuff was really, he was just great to work with. And, the course staff are always really special. Certainly the course supers, but all the staff, but the course supers, Mickey Hyatt was here when I started. As he was a giant of the club when I came. Mickey was Collingwood supporter, which is not a good thing, but apart from that, he just had such a passion for the club, and that was certainly inherited and passed on to Scooter, who just resigned recently, but he was just always looking to make the club better, and he was just always here trying to do things to make the place a better place for members to play. And then finally Nathan, who's come in, he's only been here 3 months, but you can really see the type of character he is. He's been hit right between the eyes, let's face it, with 2 floods, and with the rain starting again, you can see the lakes behind us. It's been a real challenging time, but his attitude towards it has been astounding, and just getting on with what needs to be done to make the club get through this. And I think we've got a good one on Nathan, and I think he'll be here for a long time as well. But I suppose the other real thing the guys I've worked with in the pro shop, lots of trainees, associates now. It's hard to mention everyone, but they've just all been great to work with. I mean, we've always had in the pro shop this thought that we want members to come into the club, into the pro shop, and walk out feeling better about being in the club. And we feel that is the essence of what we try and provide for the club. But now it's absolutely pounding there. Look, we've got, I'll talk louder. We've just got 4 coaching staff here. And it's just, I think there's a real energy with our women's development and junior development now working with schools. I think it's all as well. And, all the trainees have just been fantastic, been great. But the other obviously thing over the last 5 years with the 5-hole and the germination and the swim fit program and all those women that have come into the game, it's really energised the reason why it's a golf pro, to help people come into the game, etc. And just seeing these women, I always think you learn the game on the range, but you learn to love the game on the course. And having that 5-hole course, allowing them to have a place to learn at their own pace, feel comfortable and confident with their games, has, I think, really helped them. Well, a lot of them now become members of the club and start their journey at Latrobe, and I'm sure they'll stay here because it's just a great place to be a member.
I suppose another big one is the members of the club and your relationship. I imagine there's lots of relationships there, and anything you'd like to tell the members?
Yeah, right. As it is hosing down outside. Look, this is the hardest part about it. There's so many enduring friendships that I think I've made over my time, and it really is an incredibly friendly golf club, and because of that, it really touches you when you work here, and it'll stay with me, and I hope I'll play a bit of golf down here as well. But I can't explain the feelings I have saying to the members that I'm not going to be the club pro. I've loved doing it for so long.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure they've loved you too, Tony.
yeah. There's one thing I would say, we've had a lot of new members lately. I reckon every member should have a game with some of our older members, all our life members, etc., and just get a feel for the history of the place and realise the reason why they love being a member of the club. You always join a club for the golf, but I think you stay at a club because of the friendships you make, and it has an impact on your life. And I think Latrobe's has a big impact on the members' lives here, especially as they stay for a long time.
Here, here. Now, where you're going to? You're going to the industry body, Golf Australia, head of venue development.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it and how excited are you?
Look, the closer I get to it, the more excited I get. Basically, to put it in a nutshell, it's looking at all different demographics that come into the game. And we're trying to increase participation in golf around Australia, and these people need places to play, and so the places to play division is where I'll be working in. and it's, I guess, trying to make people feel comfortable at whatever stage of golf they're at,
Yep.
whether they're on a range, playing putt-putt, getting into playing rounds at golf clubs, etc. And, you know, certainly seeing how the 5 holes helped so many of these women that play the game now that probably wouldn't have. I think it's a massive opportunity for the game, and it's just really exciting to be part of that with the national body, for sure.
Amazing. I'm sure you're going to be a fantastic asset to Golf Australia as you've been to Latrobe Golf Club. From my perspective, I want to say thank you for everything, Tony. You've been amazing in my time, and there's nothing but positive that comes out of every time your name's mentioned. I want to say thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Take care. We will be having a couple of parties along the way before you depart gracefully. So that's it for now, members.
Well, can I just say, Bill?
Go.
Yes, I will. You were extremely generous when I came to tell you, Bill. I know it's a difficult time for the club at the moment with the flooding, etc. But I really appreciate the way you took it, and you've been great to work with. And
Thank you, mate.
And it means a lot that, you know, it's always was gonna be difficult, but you've certainly made this feel like, you know, whilst I'm leaving the club, I'm doing the right thing, which is I really appreciate it.
No, thank you, mate. Anytime. That's it for now, members. We will give you more updates about Tony's Johnny Farnham Tour party moving forward. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.